What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video, and today is, well, it's the comparison you've been waiting for. The top 3 Android phones of 2025 will go head to head in a slightly different format because throughout this video I will be answering all the questions I get in my DMs, WhatsApp group and comments section. So this should help you in your decision making on whether to buy that new phone, whether to upgrade, whether to switch from an iPhone perhaps. With all that being said, let's go. Now I think we just dive in. We answer one of the most common questions that I get every single day. Mike, should I upgrade? Well, coming from someone that owns the world's largest import store, the Average Dad Tech Store, no, probably not, but not for the reasons you're thinking. The VIVO X300 Pro is fantastic. If you don't have a VIVO X200 Pro, or even a VIVO X100 Ultra, then absolutely upgrade or buy this phone. But for context, last year's VIVO X200 Pro, at this very time last year, was every single one of your favourite YouTubers' phone of the year. The specifications of the X300 Pro essentially mirror that with a slightly bigger battery. Actually, if you're in the EU, it's a smaller battery. So, no, don't upgrade if you've got the X200 Pro, because the X300 Pro will be just like buying the same phone twice. Now, I'll save the trickiest one to answer till last. Let's talk OnePlus. The OnePlus 13 was a truly fantastic phone. It looked great, it had a vegan leather option, it looked like a OnePlus. But the OnePlus 15 doesn't look like a OnePlus. And I like it. It has a huge battery, it has the latest chipset, it's actually got 3 chips inside, which we'll talk about later. In terms of upgrading, if you have the OnePlus 13, I'm on the fence here. I really am, because for me the design, the specifications, the 165Hz screen, only while gaming, there's a lot to be said for upgrading to the OnePlus 15. And I know what you're all thinking, but Mike, the cameras are a downgrade. Yes, on paper they are, but as I showed in this video here, you're never going to notice that outputs are absolutely phenomenal. I think I'm still going to err on the side of don't upgrade if you have the OnePlus 13, but I also know that you're not going to feel any form of buyer's regret or remorse if you did buy the OnePlus 15. Anything older than a OnePlus 13 and you want to stick with OnePlus, the OnePlus 15 will be the best OnePlus phone you've ever used. And then finally, the hardest one, and it's only really hard because Oppo made an absolutely outstanding phone last year. The X8 Pro was wonderful. The X8 Ultra was even better, but only came in a Chinese ROM. With the X9 Pro having a global ROM to cater for the masses, having damn near close camera setup to the Ultra, and that new design, and the 7,500 mAh battery, and the new chipset, and the vapor chamber, this is the one where I would say you may want to consider upgrading. So, to recap. If you've got an X200 Pro, don't upgrade to the X300. If you've got a OnePlus 13, don't upgrade to the OnePlus 15. And if you've got a Oppo X8 Pro or even X8 Ultra, I would probably upgrade to the X9 Pro. But again, that's just my advice. As I say, I own a store. I could easily sit here and say, yeah, go ahead, upgrade, buy 3 of each. Not my style. So that's answered a boatload of people asking that question. Now, let's talk about the actual phones here. All 3 are of course very, very similar. They're Android 16 devices out the box with their latest and greatest software, which we'll talk about soon. They all have near 6.8 inch displays. with all of them doing 120 Hz. However, the OnePlus goes up to 165 while gaming. So let's just talk about those displays. Here you can see, if I didn't tell you which ones was which, you would never know the difference. They're all Full HD Plus, which is another difference between the OnePlus 13 and the OnePlus 15. OnePlus has always kind of given us Quad HD Plus resolution. And while the naked eye would struggle to notice the difference, it's still a difference. And it's still, no matter what anyone thinks, is a downgrade, not just on paper. But in terms of this versus, every single one of the displays is basically exact same. The nits is as bright as the sun, so you're never going to have issues reading outside. I personally love all these screens. They're all super smooth and bright and punchy. They've all got different colour modes to choose from. But do you know the best thing? The almost uninterrupted display, because it doesn't have a dynamic island or a huge pill-shaped cutout. It's just a simple circular hole punch on all three. So yeah, display-wise, we're pretty eeksy-peeksy. Now, it would not be an average dad comparison without speakers. You love it. You also seem to love this song, which I stole from like a Max Tech video from ages ago. I thought it was a catchy tune. It shows off the speakers well. But to reiterate, there's only so much that can come through on a YouTube video in terms of speakers. However, here are all three. Clearly, you can tell which one is which. And you can let me know in the comments what you think. Have a listen and I'll give you my thoughts.
I hate all this overthinking. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now. To where we started out.
So there seems to be a review out there, or somebody's mentioned that the VIVO X300 Pro speakers aren't great or even good. So I've had to reply to a couple of people that seem to have watched this video. I don't know, maybe it was just a bad device they had. I don't know, but all three speakers sound essentially exact same. The sound from the X300 Pro is good according to my ears. The OnePlus 15 also really, really good. But for me, slightly. The Edge, for whatever reason, there's no physics reason, I don't think, because they're all basically the same size. In fact, the OnePlus 15 and the Oppo X9 Pro are the same phones, essentially. But for whatever reason, in my office, in this room, the X9 Pro speakers were maybe the best to me, but it's super close. The main thing being, if you are that person that listens to music or a podcast while in the shower in the morning, all three phones are going to suit you just fine. So we've still got all the big categories to talk about, software and cameras, but I think it's important that in 2025 we discuss how unbelievably fucking brilliant batteries are. Yes, thanks to the introduction and innovation of super smart people, we now have high density silicon carbon cells. That means we can squeeze more energy out of the same size battery. In fact, in a lot of cases, smaller batteries than previous. All three phones have outstanding batteries. All three phones are a major upgrade over previous years and any other Android flagship. If you're sitting there with a Samsung, I'm sorry, but you have a tiny battery. The Vivo has the smallest of the three on this, but don't let the word small put you off. It's 6,510 milliamp hours, which is outstanding. But in this comparison, it's going up against the two biggest batteries on any phones anywhere outside of fucking rugged phones made by Cat or Aucutel that are power banks in your pocket. The OnePlus has a 7,300 milliamp hour cell and the Oppo has a 7,500 milliamp hour cell. Folks, I have used all of these devices for extensive periods of time now. I have never, ever killed either of these phones in a single day. Because it's not just battery capacity, it's chipsets. It's the latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 in the OnePlus. It's the latest MediaTek Dimensity 9500 on the Oppo and the Vivo. The efficiency from these flagship chipsets combined with the battery, I would actually challenge people to kill a phone in normal usage, not hardcore gaming for 12 hours, but in normal usage in 2 days. Honestly, folks, by the end of day 2, you'll pop it on charge and then get another 2 days. So if you leave for a weekend trip away on the Friday and you're coming back on the Sunday, you probably don't need to take a charger, which is basically unheard of in previous years. Now, I have managed to get into the third day, quite well into the third day with the Oppo, but that's not suggested. That will raise your anxiety levels. So yeah, you're going to get 1, in a lot of cases, 2 full days of battery. And since I touched on the chipsets, you already know they're slightly different. The OnePlus 15 has the latest from Qualcomm, paired with, as Jerry Riggs showed, I'll put the clip here, the world's largest vapor chamber in a phone. Yes, a lot of people don't realise the OnePlus 15 might be the best gaming phone in the world. And subscribe to the channel because I do have a video between the OnePlus 15 and the Red Magic 11 Pro coming up soon. And to give you a little tidbit, what's the point of a gaming phone anymore? I'll leave that with you. So yes, OnePlus 15, super powerful, no real throttling because of the large vapor chamber. However, MediaTek, in recent years, if you don't know, you should really know. They're more efficient, and a lot of their gaming CPU, they're more efficient, and their GPU and CPU scores on all your benchmarking pretty goddamn impressive. There's an argument out there, and I wouldn't disagree, that MediaTek are maybe the kings of the SoC now, but it's super close. Either way, with these 3 phones, you can't go wrong in terms of performance and indeed efficiency. So hopefully you're enjoying this comparison, answering all your questions in the meantime. I do just have to pause for 1 minute to let you know, as mentioned, this is the Average Dad Tech Store. We sell all phones from the global market, from the Chinese market, from any market we can get hold of them. We will be the cheapest price from all your legitimate stores such as Wanda and Gizstop, Trade in Shenzhen. If they are a cheaper price, let us know. You can email me here and we will price match for you. Keep in mind though, we have this 3% off code. So add the code at checkout and then check the price before you say, Mike, they're £20 cheaper. No, you've not applied the code. We will be cheaper. And we ship using FedEx or DHL Express, international priority. If you live in the States and you ordered on Monday morning, it is not out with the realms of possibility you'll be using your phone on Wednesday afternoon. Hong Kong to US shipping is just ridiculously fast. So, check out the Average Dad Tech Store if you're looking to upgrade, buy your latest phone, or you just fancy a peruse before Christmas. And while you're there, please remember I have a draw going on. I am somebody will win £1,000 in store credit to spend on anything you want. Absolutely anything. All you have to do is buy your tickets through the Average Dad Tech Store. 1 ticket is £5, or you can buy 3 tickets for £10 or 10 tickets for £20. And just last night, I did add a very limited availability draw. The Huawei MateBook Fold is easily one of the dopest tech products, to that from NKBHD, of 2025. It's a 18-inch foldable laptop, comes with a keyboard and case, and it's just phenomenal. But it's close to £3,800. It is not cheap. Well, I have one that you can win in a draw. Yes, my review unit of the MateBook Fold, a blue 1TB version. I was going to sell through the group or Gumtree or eBay, but why not do a prize draw? For £100 per ticket, you can be entered for the MateBook Fold draw. And I know £100 is a lot, but it's a £3,500 to £4,000 laptop that folds, and we're limiting spaces to 30. As in, there are only 30 tickets available. So if someone out there bought 30, then they've just paid £3,000 for a £3,800 laptop. Kind of a no-brainer if you look at it from that perspective. Anyway, we've sold a few tickets already, so if you're interested in a Huawei MateBook Fold, please enter, link is in description, and I will be doing the draw on Christmas Eve. So that will be a very cool little Christmas Day present for someone out there. Not that you'll have it on Christmas Day, but you'll know by Christmas Day that you've won. Now, I'm obviously saving cameras till the end because that's what we care about mostly. But I want to talk about software and build quality because it can't be overlooked that in 2025, all the phones we're talking about here with the displays and the speakers and the chipsets and the batteries, they're all absolute tanks now as well. There's a real argument to be made that your rugged phones, your dedicated gaming phones, they're almost redundant now. The OnePlus 15 has an IP69K water and dust resistant, meaning you can use high pressure, high temperature jet washes. You can take it in a bloody car wash if you want. The phone's a tank. And the other two are IP69 water and dust resistant. We are now in the scenario in 2025 where you really don't have any issues taking your phone in any scenario. The one bummer for me, and it should be a bummer for you, is if you're giving all these ingress protection ratings to your phones, it should be bloody included in warranty. You should not say that your phone can go underwater for 30 minutes, you can swim in the sea, you can go to the Mariana fucking Trench, but then if you get water inside your phone, oh, you're not covered though. No, we don't do water damage under warranty. That's bullshit. Anyway, I've definitely gone on a tangent. All three of these devices are absolute tanks. Now, software. Wow, this should be a whole video actually, but it's not. I just have to summarise my software experiences. Origin OS, Colour OS, Oxygen OS. The three different software skins used on these three phones. Along with Samsung's One UI, we've got 1A, B, C and D. Colour OS has improved by several magnitude levels. Oxygen OS obviously has two because, you know, they're the same software. And Origin OS is finally available on the global versions of VIVO. Folks, I made a video about this. I was super excited and I have not been let down. But I want to give a specific example or two. The skins look clean, transitions, animations, customization is fantastic. However, on Colour OS and Oxygen OS, something I have got very used to doing is just expanding my icons, expanding and enlarging folders, adding shortcuts to certain icons. As you can see here, simply long press on any icon and you can make it as big or as small as you like. You can add a shortcut, two shortcuts. So for example, WhatsApp, you can add a shortcut to just my members group. I don't have to go through WhatsApp, find the chat. I can just click on members group. For Gmail, I have 4 Gmail accounts for work, the store, business, personal. I can have 4 shortcuts that simply one press takes me straight to that mailbox. That's amazing. In terms of like usability and life upgradeness, not a word, absolutely love it. However, on the VIVO, you can't do that. You can't even enlarge a folder. And that is unbelievably frustrating when you're so used to using, like me, different software skins, and then you have to remember, oh shit, I can't do that. I have to go through Gmail, I have to then go to my little icon, click on that, click on the mailbox I want. No, it's not a major hardship, but it's slightly harder on the Vivo than the other two. However, flipping things around, all of these phones have obviously got widgets, but with Origin OS from the app drawer, swipe right, here's your kits. Kits is what Origin OS Vivo call widgets. I love Origin OS kits. I use them all the time. Battery's the most common one, the clock obviously. I love them, they're easy to use. Again, it's no hardship to find the widgets on the OnePlus or the Oppo. I just like that little swipe right for kits. FYI, if you swipe right on the app drawer for the Oppo or the OnePlus, it's going to give you a very Apple-like app library with lots of different folders all categorized, which also is nice, but I don't use that. Now, in terms of other software features, these are all global versions, so they all have Android Auto, Quick Connect to your Vivo, Oppo or OnePlus products, Quick Share with any Android device. With the application, you can quick share AirDrop to an Apple device. You can also, with all three devices, connect your Apple Watch to them. This is game changing, and this is a question I've been asked a lot of times, so I will make a dedicated video next week about how to connect. It's not hard, just download the O Plus Health app for OnePlus or Oppo, download the Health app for Vivo, it's already installed, and find the device, pair it, and you're good. And it counts your steps, and it counts your steps on the Apple Health app. Pretty goddamn cool. And of course there's connectivity for your MateBook and all of these three with like the O Plus Connect and the Vivo app, Vivo Studio I think they call it. So there's a lot of really good software advantages in all these phones. But for me personally, if I had to pick one, it's technically two, it would be ColorOS and Oxygen OS. And I never thought I'd say that because I've always loved Origin OS. And it is great. I just, honestly, home screen, we look at it all day. Your home screen's the first thing you see all the time. Speaking of which, to get to your home screen, the biometrics on all these three phones, all ultrasonic fingerprint readers, and all really quick Face ID. Definitely biometrics, no issue, love them all. So yeah, but home screen, customization, I'm giving the win to Oxygen and ColorOS. Now for the final big category, before I finish off with a summary and a little Q&A dump, because there's still other questions to be answered. Cameras. Just, yeah, wow. The Vivo is obviously stunning. It was the best camera phone of last year, whether you chose the X200 Ultra or the X200 Pro. The OnePlus 15, downgrade on paper, but as you can see from these images, the outputs are absolutely stunning. But for me, the Oppo X9 Pro is the most improved camera system of all three, because the Vivo's is basically just the same as last year's Vivo. The Oppo's is a definite upgrade over last year's X8 Pro, and it shows. They've kept the Hasselblad partnership, unlike OnePlus. They separated from Hasselblad. It was very sad. People cried. And Vivo have kept Zeiss, which is always cool. Now, if you listen back, I said Oppo has improved the most. But in terms of cameras, Vivo is still the daddy. Yeah, in my opinion, Vivo's portraits are still better than Oppo's. Vivo's zoom shots, while it's getting super close, I still prefer the Vivo zoom shots. Main lens, all three are absolutely great. And no, there's no issues with OnePlus. Now, I may get round to a full camera deep dive, but please, I have done a camera video, a dedicated 12-minute long camera video on the Oppo X9 Pro. So if you're going to comment and say, you didn't give us examples, that video's there. I've done a camera deep dive on the X300 Pro. That video's there. And in the OnePlus 15, I made a video. It's got a big bad word across the thumbnail. It's talking about how good the cameras actually are. So no, this video is not going to be a 3-minute montage of clips. In fact, I'm not going to show you any more. I've already flashed up some. That's all you're getting in terms of cameras. Because folks, in 2025, they're all outstanding. They all offer more than you or I can get from photography these days. They do everything that you want it to using AI, using post-processing. That's just the way the world is. So no, in this video, it's long enough. There's not a huge montage of photos and videos, but they're out there on my channel if you want to see them all. Just rest assured, you will be super blown away by all three of these phones. So, a couple of other housekeeping things to talk about before we close out. UFS 4.1 storage on all. Infrared on all. Yes, you can control your TV with your phone on all of these devices. The latest Bluetooth, the latest Wi-Fi. The OnePlus actually has a dedicated Wi-Fi chip and a dedicated display chip for the PWM. Yeah, the OnePlus 15 is super stacked. And I think that's all I want to mention now, because I could go on for days. In fact, I feel like I have done. All I will say to summarise is that with these three phones, with the Nubia Z80 Ultra that I'm about to review, with basically any modern flagship phone, and I'll include the iPhone here, you just can't go wrong. Like, we really, truly are spoilt. Do you know what things come down to? Design, look, feel. All those subjective things that I can't portray or get across in my video because my design language choices will be different. My preferences may be different. So you can make up your own mind. I'm here to let you know, and have let you know, the specifications, what they're like to use. So hopefully this has helped. I'll be back soon with the first impressions of the Nubia Z80 Ultra, the Realme GT8 Pro Aston Martin Special Edition. I've got that one coming tomorrow, I believe. Should be coming from FedEx. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. So, thank you very much for watching. I know it's been a bit of a long one. Please hit like if you've liked it. And if not, don't hit like. And don't forget, the draw for the £1,000 winner will be on the 1st of December. The draw for the Huawei MateBook Fold will be on December 24th. Please remember that is capped. 30 tickets only can be purchased. And yeah, there'll be other stuff, including giveaways before Christmas. As always, until next time.